Hey guys, so today I'm going to be talking about, in my opinion, the biggest problem in Valorant in the foreseeable future. So hopefully you guys can maybe bring some of the devs' attention to this. I doubt they will change it as it's a core part of the game mechanics, but I think it's really important, and hopefully they will make slight tweaks to make the game better and more enjoyable. This is by no means to say that Valorant is a trash game or whatever. I'm not hating on it. I had a lot of fun playing with it, playing on it with my friends and by myself, and this is the most amount of fun I had since I quit CS:GO. Uh, Obviously everything's still in beta, so hopefully I'm just hoping that maybe the devs can tweak it a little bit before the game gets released. What is the it that we're talking about? The it that we're talking about today is movement. Movement in Valorant, in my opinion, is absolute trash. Okay, we're talking about basic movement, WSD, right? So I'm going to be comparing this to CSGO because CSGO is the predecessor of Valorant, sort of, just like how Overwatch is. Most of its core mechanics, movement, gameplay, gunplay, all comes from CSGO. You can see by the spray pattern, by the movement accuracy while moving, and everything else. It all comes from CSGO. Okay, so for movement, we're going to be talking about peeking. Peeking is very important because peeking is the initiator of every gunfight. Every gunfight begins with a peek, whether you're peeking him or he's peeking you. One side have to peek the other. Good peeks complements good aim. With a good aim, you only get so far because because you die before you can even see the other guy, so you can't even aim on him. Anyways, so with that out of the way, and with how important peeking is established, we can talk about types of peeks in both games. In Counter-Strike, there are about four types of peaks. That's a great variety. The first type of peaks are shoulder peaks, the ones I'm doing right now. You're exposing your hand and your shoulder patch to the enemy to bait out their shots. After they shoot you, you can peek out to shoot them, or you can gain information of how many people are there, who shot you, or whatnot. This is especially good against operators who are going to be holding this angle. They're going to see like a pixel of you, you're going to shoot, and you can peek out. You can peek out right here, and you can kill them. Right, but the second type of peek is jiggle peek. It's basically the same thing except you're shooting. So if you know a guy is there, or it's like a common angle, for example, that's the bomb site. There's normally one guy standing there. You can just shoulder peek it, and then you can like jiggle peek it. Right, you're basically shoulder peeking and pre-firing at the same time. Third types of peek is white peek. You're walking out. Right, what does is that in CS:GO you travel very fast. So the guy's gonna be looking right here. You're gonna be at here like a split second later. So if you just walk out like it's gonna shock him, so you're gonna have to flick to you, and this gives him flicking to you gives you time to flick onto him and kill him. That's what a white peek is. And then there is crouch peeking. Basically, it's a white peek, but you crouch. So if the guy's aiming at your head, you can crouch and avoid that headshot. Alright, let's talk about why this is a problem in Valorant. Because in Valorant, there's only one type of peeking, and that's white peeking, and it's also trash. You cannot shoulder peek in Valorant. Just like how War Hour said, shoulder peeking is a very surefire way to get you killed instantly in Valorant because of how penetratable walls are. You see this bullet comes in, hits it right there. In CS:GO, it's gonna hit for fucking 7 damage. In Valorant, this shit's gonna hit for 15 to 20 damage. Okay, with that might not be a problem. With this, with an op, that's gonna hurt. That's gonna do like 40, 50 damage. And with the M4, those shots are gonna do at least 60 damage right here. These are gonna do a huge amount of damage to you if you're shoulder peeking. So if a guy's shoulder peeking me, I see him, I can just spam the wall and he just dies because he's on the other side of the wall, shoulder peeking like this, right? Otherwise you're gonna take like 60 damage. And by shoulder peeking, you're not getting information, you're just getting fucking shot at. Because of how also another contributing factor is how slow you are, right? You're very slow. That makes tracking you very easy. And that makes shoulder peeking perfectly even harder because now you gotta time it very perfectly. Otherwise, if you peek too far, the other guy's gonna shoot you, and you're too slow to get back in, right? And also tagging is extreme in this game. So if you get shot through a wall, you're gonna get stopped right here, and the guy's gonna keep on shooting you until you die through a wall. And basically, you try to shoulder, basically it all ends up him killing you instead of you gaining information or baiting out his shot. He just fucking kill you, right? So they also got rid of Peeker's advantage, which is generally seen as a good thing, but combined with everything else, it's very bad because now without Peeker's advantage, it's even more difficult to peek the guy and kill them. Peeker's advantage is basically you see them before they see you when you peek, right? So now it's even more difficult. So without that and with slow movement, shoulder peeking is essentially impossible. Okay, crouch peeking is impossible because in CS:GO, you hit crouch, you immediately crouch. In this game, you see how long time this is gonna take for me to crouch. So I'm gonna come out here, I'm gonna crouch, and there's a process. So I'm not immediately at below headshot level. My head is still here, and the guy can easily just flick down low and shoot me. So crouch peeking is not possible. Um, okay, let's say, okay, jiggle peeking. Jiggle peeking, obviously, since shoulder peeking isn't possible, jiggle peeking also isn't possible. The guy's gonna wallbang you right here before you can see him, and you're gonna fucking die. So, the last thing is wide peeking. Wide peeking is the only type of peaks. That means you have to commit to every peak. Okay, once you peek out here, you're gonna have to commit. Um, this limits the variety of plays very much. And whereas before you can, in the different types of peeking in CS:GO enables all kind of solo play. It enables 1 versus 4s where we can gather information, this and that. But in Valorant, this is just not possible because your information is very, very limited unless you use abilities. Okay, I just don't understand that why the devs cannot keep the faster or less sluggish movement system in Valorant that already exists in its predecessor, CSGO, because all it does right now is make the game feel like it's easier and sort of ruin it on a higher play level of play. Because right now it's fine because in the closed beta and everybody's trash and nobody can aim. But after people learn how to aim and stuff, it's all down to movement and peeking because maybe let's say the top 30% of the players, those are the people who put most of the money and time into this game. No, those are the players that are going to put their money and time into this game. The top 30%, those are the people that are gonna fucking grind this game for 1,000 hours. They're gonna have most of the aiming and recoil mechanics down. And with this shitty peeking mechanic, this disables solo play. This means that if you are, for example, not a character with not Phoenix, basically. Phoenix have flashbangs. I don't know why nobody else have flashbangs. If you don't have flashbangs, you literally cannot challenge an AWPer or somebody holding an angle passive if the other guy can aim very well, right? Otherwise, you have to take hard aim duels, and it's obviously not suited for you because he's further away from the angle, and he will see you first, and he will kill you for the most part. So this makes peeking really difficult. What this means for Valorant is that people are going to be playing really passively, or you're going to force people to play strats. What playing strats means is that it disables solo play, which means that if you solo queue and it's randos, right? Randos not gonna have strats. It's been like that ever since the beginning of fucking gaming. When you queue with randos, no one's gonna run strats. So you're forcing people to play sort of like 5-man queues, or you're forcing people to play chess. You're basically forcing people to play mind games with each other simply because no matter how good your aim is, your peak is very slow, and the other guy's just gonna fucking one tap you once you come around the corner. So I just don't understand why they cannot keep. Obviously, utility is important, and I understand that they have to emphasize how important utility is in this game. But utility has always been important, even with a good movement system. There's no reason to have a shitty movement system just to force people to play together or have good utility. Playing together and using your utility wisely, like smokes and flashes, is a reward in of itself. You're gonna kill the guy, right? Regardless. So these two can coexist, right? You don't have to get rid of one for to highlight the other. So people are not gonna stop. People are not gonna stop using utility just because you fix the peeking mechanic and make peaks very quick and efficient. So I just hope that either they add a few more characters with flashbangs so you can clear more rooms, because right now a whole team depends on 2 flashbangs from that one Phoenix player, right? And that's not very great. Otherwise, or you make the movement a bit faster and make peeking a bit more efficient. Because right now, with this sluggish movement, like I said, it really disables solo play, and it will force a lot of players to maybe leave the game or whatnot because they just don't feel like they're rewarded. You need to reward players that put in the time to get better at the game, mechanically. So I think giving them opportunity to kill multiple opponents with good peeking mechanics really is quite important. Alright, that's gonna be the end of the video. I hope that you guys understand, why movement's trash and why I feel like they need a few tweaks here and there. Yeah, so I'll see you guys later.